do here is, more than anything, is we build road projects and bridge projects. And right now, we've got about 450 projects under construction at a cost of about $3 billion. And I would get calls from people, a lot of time legislators, and they would say, well, what's happening on the bridge on Highway 33? Well, being new to the project, I wouldn't have any idea what was going on a bridge on Highway 33. So I would call Paul Deggs, who happens to be my chief engineer. About 2 days later, I would have 3 or 4 people that walk into my office with sheets of paper and this big book that had every project rented that we did printed in it. And they'd start thumbing through stuff, and I would get an answer, but it was 48 hours later, and it was very intense. And what I really wanted to know was, when will the project be completed, how much it will cost, where is it located, and a few other intricacies like that. And what I quickly realized is that we didn't have the ability to get that information.
Organizations struggle with transparency and visibility. Scrum's a way to solve these problems. Lots of teams already do some aspects of Scrum. Braintrust can take what people read in books, learn online, and solidify that knowledge in a hands-on approach to real-world problems.
Todd Holden and I were working as contractors, and we were in the project management group. Todd discovers Scrum. He starts reading about it, comes to me, tells me about it. I don't remember who came up with it first, but we jointly hit this idea that we'll never do this at TDOT. This is not a thing the state will do. So let's do this. I'll go get certified as a product owner. You go get certified as a Scrum Master, and let's do a project. Let's get some experience on our resume, and we'll just go build something. I had an idea for a thing that I knew would mean something to the senior team.
So we had built this product that outlined the projects of transportation on a map.
We did a 6-week sprint, and in 6 weeks, we had a working product.
Replaced a 109-page report, which he would never go through because it's just massive.
The commissioner looked at it and said, I didn't ask you to do this. Why did you build this? Nobody asked me what it should do.
I was really brutal in that meeting because they laid this all out, and basically they didn't have anything that I wanted.
Business people started getting nervous. IT leadership started getting upset because we showed an incomplete product.
Some people were mad, some people were confused. I was probably in the mad category because I wasn't any closer to what I really wanted or really needed.
When the meeting ended, the CFO and COO turned to us and said, I'm really sorry, guys. We're really excited about it. I don't know why that meeting went so poorly. I don't know why people responded that way. And I remember Todd looked at him and he goes, no, that was great.
This was exactly what we wanted, because now we know all the things that we need to refine to make this the product that he wants for his organization.
We went back and we did another sprint, and then they set up another meeting, and it was a hit. It was everything they had asked for 6 weeks later.
That approach is what convinced the CFO that there needed to be a change in how the IT department approached building software.
A couple of weeks after that, I got called into the CFO's office, and they asked me if I wanted to run the department.
It's been an amazing, very productive method to make this department probably second to none across the country when it comes to DOT.
When Todd and I decided that he should go become a Scrum Master and I'd become a product owner, of course I had no idea what that meant. And so I said, well, I got to get some training. So I literally just went to the web. Several things came up, but the one that really grabbed me at the time was the Braintrust website. Got the pigs and the chickens and this sort of colorful thing. And there was something about the website that said, I think these guys know what they're doing. I plunked down my own money and took the class.
The hands-on approach actually allowed me to draw a lot more to bring back to my organization than if I would have sat through a 2-day lecture and prep to take a course.
When you go to the classes, everything's very physical. There's not some piece of software that's getting sold or something. You're doing the most fundamental version of how Agile works.
It comes across much more genuine than just someone who's teaching you a framework.
When we started actually doing this with others, and I'm hiring product owners, it was a pretty natural decision to say, well, I'm going to send them to Braintrust class.
In any transformation, I think it's really important that partnerships play a deep role in what you're doing.
As a group, Braintrust seems to be constantly looking for sort of the best version of things.
Organizations often find it difficult to integrate business and IT. Typically, they take IT team members and make them product owners. However, TDOT had a different approach.
Most of our product owners are not IT people. We looked across the organization and said, we want to have business experts that are deciding what matters, what IT is going to work on.
The product owners are the key for this whole thing. The folks in the field understand construction, they understand civil rights, they understand HR, they understand their discipline, but they don't know how to get what they need out of IT.
They were like a communication conduit is what they really were. They were able to take the information and move it along the pipeline into a programming world.
We make a joke that Joe actually pirated some of the best people in all the divisions and all the bureaus.
It didn't make me popular with my peers, that I was taking some of their best people away and pulling them into IT. They're going to come down here and decide what matters for IT to deliver, and they're going to do it from a business focus, not as a nerd.
And because of that, they had buy-in from the divisions, and we get a lot of stuff done that way.
So when I picked those people, they obviously didn't know anything about Agile. They didn't know what Scrum was. So they've gone through Braintrust training, we've gone to the Scrum gathering together, we do open spaces together.
You can get people trained, but in order for Scrum to truly work in your organization, you need to address the culture and environment. With these pieces in place, your teams can thrive. At TDOT, Braintrust coached the leadership and product owners to develop a culture that supports collaboration and communication.
If there's anything that we focus on here, it's having an Agile culture. So Agile is less of a methodology and more a set of principles. It's some principles that you decide to believe in. And two of them in particular are collaboration and transparency.
What Joe and I were trying to look at just culturally and organizationally here, we knew we had to make spaces for people to collaborate.
We'd have a weekly meeting and I would ask, what are people working on? And the answer was, same thing I was working on last week. Right? So you have no idea what's going on. There's no sort of transparency and you can't see it because people are hidden in these cubes.
There was a approach that initially that when you had work to do, you worked in a cubicle. And then when you wanted to collaborate, you went to a conference room. So we kind of flipped that upside down and said, the way we will work is collaboration will be how we work, and if you want isolation or need a small meeting, that's when you'll go to a smaller breakout room.
At first it was a little bit like awkward to work with people because we're used to the cubicle, you have your own space, but now it's just open and I feel like we're one family, we're one team that's working together.
All right, all of a sudden everybody there at standing desks and they got couches and monitors and tables and things and they're sitting in this room and they're working together day in, day out.
It made us really closer when we work on the product, so I know what people are working on. I know if there is a problem, I can work on it real, quick. I don't have to wait or I don't have to go and walk to that person and say, hey, we have a problem, let's try to fix it.
So this has definitely been my first experience with Agile. It has been a complete eye-opener as far as how quickly we can get things done and how well people enjoy doing it.
Everything is making our product better, and by the end is like the user will be happier because you can tell from the product that we're communicating. We know what's going on.
Culture trumps everything.
By engaging your business, your leadership, and your teams, you can create an environment that will take your Agile journey to the next level. We look forward to partnering with you.